October 25th, 2025, the Madras High Court has just dropped a bombshell, a ruling that will change everything for every single Indian crypto holder. Now, crypto is officially a property as per Indian law. Not currency, but property. So just how you own your cars, your stocks, you own it, you can transfer it, and the government will protect it as well. And as an Indian trader myself, this particular rule will save me from a lot of scammy exchanges. Remember what WazirX did, right? So in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to break down how this ruling protects you after the WazirX 230 million hack, tax optimization hacks to legally minimize your 30% crypto tax, and low risk entry strategies for beginners in this new legal landscape. So if you're serious about crypto and want to learn everything about it, make sure to subscribe to this channel and hit that like button as well, because we drop daily crypto updates that you would not want to miss. So let's just dive in. Just to make this video even easier for you to understand, I'll be dividing it into different sections. So the very first section is about the landmark ruling breakdown. So here is how it all started. Remember the hack on the WazirX on July 24th? All the users panicked, many people lost their funds. While there was one individual trader who lost more than 3000 XRP, which in INR would worth almost 2 lakhs. But he did not stay down, he chose to stay action. While the WazirX guys gave him a solution that let's keep it very social. So what this means is, let's take funds from everyone's account and distribute it to others. But it is then when the Madras court stepped in and they said, hell no, we are not going to let that happen. And then this whole process just started. And this is when Justice N. Anand Venkatesh delivered the verdict that cryptocurrency is property capable of being enjoyed, possessed, and held in trust. So here's why this is massive. The very first thing is, it is identifiable. So whenever you hold your crypto, it is very secure if you hold it in a wallet. So your keys are basically tied to your crypto and no one can access it. Second being transferable. Now, you can transfer your funds from one wallet to another and there won't be any kind of issues. All you have to do is obviously report it to the government. But it is very easily transferable and that's the reason why they are all on board about it. Third, it's not a legal tender. So the government themselves has declared that this is not a currency. So all you have to do is transfer it as a property. I own it, someone else can own it, but it's not a currency. You cannot make payment using cryptocurrencies. So also, just so that you guys know, this isn't random. It ties directly to Section 247A of the Income Tax Act, which already classifies virtual digital asset. The Supreme Court backed this as a PASL wind solution case in 2021, and globally, UK, New Zealand, Singapore, they've all done the same thing. The crypto community, after they heard about this, they were extremely pumped. Especially on Twitter, everyone is talking about how good this is for the scenario for the crypto adoption. And I get the fact, it's true. If the government are holding you accountable for scamming people, that will definitely lead to better adaptability. But then there are also cons to this, which we'll be talking about as well. But here's what it really means for you. Protection against the exchanges. So as I said, WazirX got hacked and no one knows how that happened or did that actually even happen. Now your properties are safe. The government will handle it. If there's anything shady that is going on, you will be safe. Earlier that was not the scenario. If you lose anything in crypto, it's just gone for good. But now it's protected. Second point being legal resource. So now if you lose your funds to an Indian exchange like WazirX, obviously the government can take action against it. But if you lose your crypto on the international boundaries or on an international exchange, even then the government have resources to tackle it. Since they are building a complete infrastructure around this, you will be safe in that kind of scenario as well. So let's say you lose your funds to an exchange which is located in Singapore or Dubai or anywhere else, the government can definitely intervene. The third point, according to me, which is also a downside of this whole structure building, is about strict regulations. Now you'll have to KYC with every exchange that you are using. No matter if you are investing there or trading, you'll have to KYC in order so that government gets all your information and then they can track your funds as well. So exchanges now will have to separate users' fund. They'll have to conduct regular audits and follow the KYC guidelines. And the Wild West days, they are over now. So now we've understood this part. Now let's also try to understand about the tax hacks in the new regime. Because this is where most of the traders, they lose their money unnecessarily. So if we talk about the current rules, it's 30% flat tax on the crypto profits under section 115 BBH, plus a 4% cess. So now you are looking at an effective rate of 31.2%. No deduction, expect acquisition cost. So let's say if you sold your Bitcoin for 5 lakh and you bought it for 3 lakhs. So you are going to be taxed on the 2 lakh profit period. 1% TDS on every transaction over 50,000. The buyer on exchange deducts this automatically. In some cases, it's 10,000. 18% GST will be there as well. So the tax system is almost the same as it was earlier. But here's what the most important part is. Even though you are paying taxes on all the gains that you make, you cannot deduct it on the losses that you made. So you cannot offset your losses basically. But here's where the hack comes in. So I'm sure you must be very much confused how to file for your taxes and how do you track every transaction that was made in the crypto space. So there is a platform called as CoinEx, which is basically tracking all your transactions on the crypto space. So whenever you bought, whenever you sold, everything is listed with them. So you can use that app and file for your crypto taxes, and it will save you a lot of time. And it might also help you to not miss out on any entries that you would have missed if you would have done this process manually. Here is the second tax hack. What you can do is get into mining, airdrops, and staking. So what most of the people don't know is if you made any profits from any of this, mining, staking, or airdrops, it is not considered as a gain from crypto, but it will be under the normal income slab. So this can be one of the best ways that you guys can use to save some tax, because 31% is obviously a bigger number. So if you can show your income from these sources, it will help you to save a lot of taxes because they will be under the normal income tax slab. And here is the third one, which is about documenting everything. So I just told you guys about using the platform CoinEx, which does everything automatically for you. But let's say if you don't trust it and if you want to do the whole process manually, what I would recommend is keeping a journal where you maintain all of the data there. So every transaction that you did on your hot wallets, on your cold wallet, on your exchanges, on any of the crypto platforms, make sure to make a note of them and then keep it prepared when you are filing for your taxes. Understand the point. If you miss any transaction while filing for your taxes, you can be charged heavily. The fines can go all the way up till 70, 80% and even higher. There is no proper regulation about that. So make sure that you do not miss any transaction while you're filing for your taxes. Now enough about the taxes. Now let's focus on making some money. So here are some really low risk strategies that you guys can use as well. The very first one is dollar cost averaging, also known as DCA. Since you are planning to invest into Bitcoin, Ethereum or any other crypto coin, do not just go all in at once. Remember how I told you that if you are buying Bitcoin for 3 lakhs and selling it for 5 lakhs, the taxable amount is going to be 2 lakhs. That is the profit that you made. So just think, if you can average your entry, that might probably help you save some taxes as well. But then also, it's not about saving taxes, but making money. Dollar cost averaging means, for example, Bitcoin. You keep on buying Bitcoin every time it moves 5% in your favor or against you. This way you will have a better entry price, you will make good amount of profit, and you won't have a bigger drawdown. So that's your first strategy. The second is about entering with established coins only. So now people just want to invest into a random coin and expect that it is going to do 100x or a 200x, which is definitely possible in crypto. But what they miss is, if it can go 100% higher, it can also dump similarly, right? So if you are a beginner in this space, what I would recommend is invest into coins that are extremely established. For example, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, AVAX. The third one is about using regulated exchanges. Now for most of the people, this is a plus point, but for most of the people like me, this can also be a negative point, because when you're trading on a regulated exchange, every single move that you are making gets reported to the government. So now let's say if I made a profit of 10 rupees or $10, it is going to get reported to the government. And that is something which probably I don't like. I mean, I might have my own ways to cover it. From a beginner's perspective, it is very important that you are using a regulated exchange only, so that in a case where you make mistake or your exchange scams you, you can always go to the government and get some help from them. Because if you're trading on a non-regulated exchange, there is no way your government can help you, because they have no data, no track of what you actually did there. The fourth one is the most basic one according to me, and that is about never invest more than you can afford to lose. So let's say if you have 100 rupees, do not go all in into crypto, because there is a very higher chance that you might lose all of that 100 rupees. So what you can do is invest maybe 30 rupees or 40 rupees out of the whole 100 rupee, because this way you might make gains, you might make profit, but in a scenario where you lose it all. You are not going to be losing your complete net worth. So it is very important to not go all in into crypto. The next one is about using hardware wallets. Now people save thousands of dollars into an exchange wallet or on a hot wallet like MetaMask or Phantom. Technically that's fine, but you have a higher chances of getting hacked and losing your funds. This is something which is very common in the crypto space. People are losing a lot of funds just by getting hacked. You won't even know. There might be a random link in your DMs on Twitter, on Discord, on Telegram. You might just click it thinking that okay, this is just a normal link, and the very next moment your whole wallet will get drained. So it's very important to use a hardware wallet. Now hardware wallet like Ledger will keep you safe because there is no way you can get hacked there. Obviously there is still some risk, but it's a lot better than your hot wallets like MetaMask and exchanges. And the last point that I would like to share with you guys is stay updated, because crypto is in a very fast moving environment. Things keeps on changing every single day. So it's very important that you stay updated with the rules, with the regulations and everything that you are using in this space, because one change in rule might make you lose all your money. So there you have it. The crypto landscape has changed forever. Crypto is actually a property. It is actually regulated, not a currency, but that's completely fine. We still are protected by the government in this way. So it's very important to address this point that you can transfer your crypto, you own your crypto, and it will be protected by the government as well. But here's the thing, it's just the beginning. India's crypto regulations are evolving, and if you're not staying updated, you are going to miss out on massive opportunities or get caught off guard by the new rules. That's why you need to stay subscribed to this channel, because we stream daily, we post regularly, and we make sure that you're updated with every single update in this space. So hit that like button, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.